It's funny because a friend of mine was telling me, hey, these people on social media, they don't want to see things that are hard. They want to see things that are easy. They want to see just all the glitz and glam. They want to see the Rolex, show them the Rolex. Yeah, show them the Mercedes, all that, show them the Gucci. They don't want to see the work. Do you guys want to see the work? Because do you want to see what it takes to reach a goal that you have a 0.0001% chance of achieving? Do you want y'all want to see what the work it takes? I don't know. I'm new to this social media stuff, so I'm trying to figure out, what do you guys want to see? Do you want to see the hours it takes? Do you want to see me working, 28 hours straight? Do you want to see me reading 2-3 books in a 48-hour period, writing on each of those topics? Do you guys want to see that? Do you want to see me teach myself to build websites, teach myself to do all these things? Is that what you guys want to see? Do you want to see me, going to these networking events and talking to different people and meeting people and prepping and studying? And is that something that's interesting to you? I mean, or you just want to see the results of it? I can show you that too. I can show you the nice cars and the luxury apartment and the travels and all that, going to different countries every month. That's fine, but just know it takes work. I'm fortunate enough to work in a field that's my passion. I love it. So when people ask me, oh my gosh, you work so much, how do you work 19 hours straight? It's because it's not work for me. What is work defined as? I don't know. Work for me is doing something for someone else that I don't like, that I'm not passionate about. But if my position, I get to help entrepreneurs, startups, businesses, nonprofits, help them grow, and I get to see the results. Literally see the results. I get calls with people in tears thanking me for growing their business to a point where they can afford to pay for their kids' college. That's what keeps me. That's why I work. That's what keeps me up at night. That's why I work 19 hours straight. Why I work those 100-hour work weeks and all that. Wasn't there a book called the 4-Hour Work Week or something like that? The 4-Hour Work Day? I don't know. I don't. If you truly have a gift and you have a passion about something, it's not work for you. When you get to really positively affect someone and impact a society, impact a community, that's not work. That's your duty. That for me, that's obligation is a little bit too pejorative. But that is my responsibility. Right? I have a responsibility to impact the social fabric of my community, my city, my state, my region, my country, my continent, the world, all that. Because now we're so interconnected. I could be on a conference call right now in New York, click over, answer someone in California, hang up, take a plane, have a meeting in Chicago, be on the phone with someone in London, talking about a deal that we're going to do in Germany, and then before I go to bed, have another conference call in Chongqing, China. So this reach that we have, the ability to affect beyond your community, there's never been a time like this where you can go on an app and talk to anyone in the world, in any country, well, save North Korea and countries like that, but by and large, talk to anyone from any country. That to me is, it's powerful. It could be powerful, but I think that it's a tool. And I'm not gonna lie, I was really firmly against social media and all it stands for. I didn't really like that. But I'm learning to think about it more as a tool. And I'm realizing, people are telling me that I have something that can really truly help hundreds, thousands, millions, hopefully one day millions of people grow and realize their dreams and help them get from idea to MVP to a viable business to an exit or a sustainable lifestyle, or whatever that looks like for them. Like that's something that I love doing. I love watching other people's vision come into fruition. That there's no better joy for me, in that. And whether that's the restaurant that's opening up on the south side of Chicago, the Michelin star chef that wants to create some kind of food app that delivers food via drone in the south of France, right? Or that's the gym owner that wants to watch their 30-year-old business grow exponentially and leverage new technologies. There's so many opportunities and so many fun things to do in business, so many ways to grow, so many different people to help. And for me, honestly, I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. That shit bores the hell out of me. I'm not gonna lie. So the cool thing about my career, my life really, because I've chosen to dedicate my life to making an impact in a place that's oftentimes overlooked. Whether that is helping black people out, brown people, women, minorities. It doesn't have to be a minority, anyone. Underserved does not mean necessarily black and brown. It can mean, a rural country. It can mean a small business. It can mean a middle-class white man. That middle-class white person can be underserved. It's not about color. It's about, do you have access to, top thinkings, top minds, best practices going on in your industry, in your community, in your country, around the world. Do you know how to read, a 600-page market report, condense it down to 10 slides, and then further condense it to a 60-second conversation, like a back and forth? Like, can you do that? Even if you can do that, do you have the time as a small business owner, right? Do you have the time? You're so busy running your day-to-day, trying to stay afloat, trying to, not necessarily improve profitability, but stay afloat. Not necessarily improve profitability, but stay afloat and earn your 200, 300, 400K that you've been used to, right? So many small businesses, many businesses in general are understaffed. They don't have the resources necessary to elevate and take their brands, their businesses, their services and products to the next level because they are busy running the day-to-day. This is where you lean on people or services that can replicate your vision. I want to say replicate your vision. That can complement your day-to-day operations, right, and help you achieve that growth you want to achieve. While you're doing payroll, you're entering your books. You don't have a bookkeeper. Why not use something like bench.co, right? Where for less than $200, depending on your expenses, you now have an outsourced bookkeeper. So how much is your time worth every day? You're sitting there doing your books manually. Or you're hiring someone to do your books. And you can just literally outsource that to a phenomenal company and they will handle everything for you. And now you can just rest easy. Now you have your time back. Now you have the time back to spend with your kids. Now you have the time back to go on vacation. Now you can have a night off on the weekends, right? Because you're now not worrying about your numbers and if they're right. Someone else is doing it. Same thing with digital marketing. Same thing with strategy consulting, right? With growth strategy. Do you have time to do 10, 20 hours of research every single week to figure out market best practices, to figure out what your competition's doing, and figure out if your industry is dying or not, and if so, how do you pivot? Do you have time to do that? I don't know. I mean, if you do, that's phenomenal, but most people don't, so therefore you must outsource that, right? And you're probably thinking, okay, if I outsource it, how do I know I'm getting quality? How do I know I'm getting something that's going to actually help me and benefit me? hold the person or the company or whomever you choose to use, hold them accountable. Don't just drop 10 grand on something. And even if you're shooting, you hire a photographer. Say you hire a photographer, right? You hire a photographer for $2,000 and they're supposed to come to your establishment once a month and take pictures. Great, right? Some months they take 20 pictures, some months they take 10 pictures, whatever. As the business owner, it's your responsibility to keep not just your employees, but the people that you are buying services from, you keep them accountable. Hey, if I'm paying for a photographer every single month, I'm dropping $2,000, I want 5 photos a week, and I want them to be high quality, and I want this, and this. And you say that up front. And maybe you don't pay them up front. Maybe you pay them $1,000 every 2 weeks, just to make sure they're hitting those, we call it KPIs, key performance indicators. Hold them accountable. That's the biggest hang up. People are saying like, oh, well, how do I know that if I work with an advisor that and for my business, a business advisor or a business coach, how do I know I'm actually getting my money's worth? Money's not the only thing into consideration here. Money's not the only thing you have to take into consideration. You must take into consideration your time, your stress, your ability, and hopefully you're at a point, or you will be at a point soon, where you just don't have. Hopefully you'll be at a point soon where your time is worth way more than entering books every day, or doing some kind of a research project, right? Or in economics, we call it specialization. You can be the greatest chef in the world. Doesn't mean you know how to run a restaurant. You can be the greatest trainer in the world. Doesn't mean you know how to run an effective personal training business. You can be the greatest videographer in the world. It doesn't mean you know how to run an effective photography agency. That's where you hire a business expert. So for those of you who aspire to work less or aspire to do something that you're passionate about, take that calculated risk, right? And lean on experts that you can afford, obviously, and figure out what that number is for you to afford them. Everyone's not affordable. I mean, you can go eat at McDonald's or you can go eat at a Michelin star restaurant. They're both serving food and they both fill you up. Well, the Michelin star restaurant may not fill you up, but you get what I'm trying to say. There's a different level in quality. So do you have a dollar menu appetite, or do you have a Michelin star restaurant appetite? Also, do you have a dollar menu budget or a Michelin star restaurant budget, right? Holding those people accountable will help you decrease your stress, give you more time, and allow you to actually enjoy life. Because not everything as you're doing your business you're going to enjoy. I'm sure the photographer doesn't necessarily like to think about business planning or creating a strategy roadmap, right? They want to take pictures. For me, I can learn photography. I can go snap a photo and shoot a camera. I have a Canon. I've taught I can do that, but it's cool. It's not my passion. I'd much rather grow a business. I'd much rather think about business operations and help with strategy. That's my passion. So what do? I outsource. I lean on someone who's passionate about photography, who's passionate about videography, because they're going to do a way better job, way faster, way more efficient than I can. So you lean on the experts. I lean on the experts and allow them to do what they do best and specialize, which gives me more time to do what I do best. And that's how I get my time back. And that's how I can, when I work these 18, 19-hour days sometimes, these 100-hour work weeks, I'm spending 90% of that time doing what I love. Because I've learned the importance of outsourcing. an hour of my time is worth a certain amount. And oftentimes what you find is that hour, it's cheaper just to go on Fiverr and hire someone for $100 or whatever, however much, $20, $1,000, however much your time is worth. Figure out reliable people you can partner with to outsource the things that you aren't the best at. And that gives you more time to focus on what you're passionate about and what will help you be the change in this world and create social impact and drive up profitability. So that's about it. My name is DK Smith. If you have any questions on how to figure out, number one, what you should be outsourcing, number two, who you should be outsourcing to, and number three, how often you should be outsourcing this work, give me a call, slide in my DMs, comment below with questions, and I'll get back to you. And I'm looking forward to this conversation, this dialogue, and hopefully, you all will have some debates and tips for each other. And please send me over some questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. Don't forget to subscribe.